What's up, guys? Jeffrey Hu here. I am here in my condo in Bangkok. So last video I talked about the earthquake that happened a couple of weeks ago. Things have pretty much returned to normal now. Before that, I covered how anyone could get sponsored by a Muay Thai or MMA gym out here in Thailand. So this time I am going to talk about how I got sponsored by 2 gyms within 6 months, and hopefully you guys can get some inspiration from my story. So the first gym I got sponsored by was Bull Muay Thai down in Ao Nang, Krabi province. Ao Nang is like this small beach town, but it's very touristy, a very chill vibe, just 2 to 3 hours away from Phuket by boat. Bull Muay Thai was also the very first gym that I trained at here in Thailand, and that was back in December 2019 to early January 2020. So basically right before COVID hit. At the time, I just completed 10 months of Marine Corps basic training that included boot camp, Marine Combat Training or MCT, and MOS school. And I just got stationed at a reserve unit near my home. Before basic training, I was only practicing Muay Thai for 6 to 7 months, had 2 semi-contact fights, went 1-1. I didn't get to do any more fights due to the military, even though I did have the luxury of training at a fight gym at MOS school. And yeah, for any Marine or veteran who are watching and wondering about my MOS, I was an 0631 network admin, so I went to 29 Palms, which for those who don't know is it's like around the Palm Springs and Indio area where Coachella events are. It's 2 hours away from Vegas and also 2 hours away from LA. Anyways, when I was in MOS school, I saw one of the guys who run the amateur and semi-contact Muay Thai events in California post about a trip to Thailand. And I always wanted to go there, so I hit him up, paid him. He set me up with the tickets, the lodge, and the gym, which of course happened to be Bull Muay Thai. And when I first came to Bull, they had a small but pretty strong team of pro fighters. I got schooled by basically everyone, both the pro fighters and the Thai coaches. But then I started adjusting, and at the time, I was mainly a kicker since I did Taekwondo for 9.5 years. But I started using my hands more, and I was doing better against everyone. And after just 4 weeks of training, I got my first fight in Koh Lanta. And the guy that I was fighting, he was like this tall compared to me. So I had an easy fight. I put him out early in the second round, went back to US, COVID hit. I was still keeping up with my training, won a California state title, got my degree in software engineering in fall 2021, got out of the military. I continued making trips down to Thailand, continued fighting under Bull, and eventually the owner opened up his own stadium, and I did all my fights there, including an MMA fight. I did venture out to other gyms later on, but eventually the Bull owner texted me and being like, "Hey, are you still in Thailand? Because I want to sponsor you." So basically, long story short, when I started with Bull, I only had 2 semi-contact fights back in the US, was only doing Muay Thai for a year. That pretty much included after the time after military boot camp. Got schooled by everyone when I was at Bull, but I kept on going, and it translated into me winning fights under them and ultimately getting sponsored by them. Now, we're going to go to the next gym that I got sponsored at, and that is Jungle Hunters in Bangkok. So I knew of Jungle Hunters through a connection I have here in Bangkok. At the time, Jungle Hunters was a new gym. It was looking for fighters to sponsor. Not to mention that it was the first gym they tried out for a sponsorship. And at the time, I was already fighting frequently under Bull, including the MMA fight that I just mentioned. But I also just took a month off because I had sciatica. So when I tried out for a sponsorship, I was basically easing my way back into training. But I also got complacent having trained with Bull for so long, and I didn't get the sponsorship. And I eventually came back a year later for MMA training. and ultimately a fight camp for another MMA fight. Not to mention that in between that gap, I also did head back to US and was working a lot more on my jiu-jitsu. Anyways, I won my second MMA fight pretty easily, and like a week or two later, I was told that I got sponsored by Jungle Hunters, which is where I am right now. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. I hope this helps, especially for people looking to get sponsored by a fight gym out here in Thailand. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content about Thailand like this, and I'll catch you all next time.